If you are someone who watches all the skincare and makeup videos and wonder, okay, that is way too advanced for me, or I don't think this makeup is something that I can do on a daily basis, then you have come to the right place. Hey, I'm Anne, and my aim here is to give you realistic skincare and makeup techniques so that it is doable and accessible to all. Today, I'm showing the daily makeup look that I do to go to work. It's not a no makeup look, but it's more of a simple makeup. I'm starting off with some primer, and the one that I'm using here is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. It's a tad bit sticky, which is why I use half a pump. This helps the foundation and concealer to set well and make the look much more natural. Primer is not a mandatory step in makeup. A good moisturizer or sunscreen would also do the trick, but it depends on the kind of look that you're trying to achieve. My aim is a natural matte finish, but if you are looking for a glowy finish, the moisturizer would be good enough. Next, I'm moving on to a color corrector. Not able to focus the product here, but I'm using MAC Prep Plus Prime Highlighter in the shade Peach Lustre. I'm using an orange corrector because I'm trying to cancel out the brown areas on my face, like the dark circles under my eyes and the darker areas around my mouth. Then I'm going in with a concealer. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Concealer in the shade 3.1N. This is a little light for my skin tone, but when mixed with the color corrector, it becomes an exact match for my skin. I'm taking a damp beauty blender and lightly pressing the concealer and corrector into my skin to blend it well. The reason for using a damp beauty blender is for it to absorb any extra product that is not absorbed into my skin. This will ensure that the product doesn't look cakey. If you notice, just with concealer and corrector, my face has become much more even toned, giving me a youthful appearance. Okay, moving on to foundation. I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 6.5. This has been my go-to foundation and I use it almost every day. It's a matte foundation but also has a tad bit of glow to it. As the name suggests, it gives a luminous finish. I take a little with my finger and dab it on my face so that I can measure the amount I need and not layer too much. Then with my damp beauty blender, I press it into my skin so that any excess can be absorbed by the sponge and only what I need stays on my face. After this step, I usually apply a face powder, but I forgot that at this point. That's okay, it is going to come back in later. Next is eyes. I'm using the Huda Beauty Matte Eyeshadow Palette today because we are doing a peachy eye look. With a thick and fluffy eyeshadow brush, I'm taking a little bit of orange eyeshadow and lightly dabbing on the eyelid. It is important to use a light hand to do this and not press the eyeshadow and swipe. When we dab it lightly, the eyeshadow spreads evenly and doesn't get concentrated on one part. After I deposit the eyeshadow from the brush, then I swipe it back and forth so that I can achieve a blended effect. The aim here is to not have a clear line between where the eyeshadow ends and the skin starts. Doing the same thing on the other eyelid as well and blending it some more. Blend, blend and blend is the secret. Next, I'm using a black eyeliner. The one I'm using is K Beauty's Smudge Proof Jet Black Gel. Though the name of the eyeliner is Smudge Proof Kajal, it smudges quite well to give a smoky effect, but once it sets in, then it is not going anywhere. I start by drawing a not very clean line because we are going to smudge it out anyway. Then using a smudging brush, I gently swipe it left and right to create a smoked out effect. The bristles of the brush is densely packed and tapered at the end, helping me control how much the smoked eye should extend to. If the brush is too fluffy, then the eyeliner will spread to a wider area. This is why we are using a fluffy brush for eyeshadow and a tapered brush for eyeliner. I'm wiping off the eyeliner that is getting deposited in the inner corner of my eye so that it looks less messy. Moving on to the eyebrows. I have microbladed my eyebrows. Because of this, I already have dark and well-shaped eyebrows. I start by brushing them out using a spoolie brush so that I can see where they need to be filled in. The microblading lasts for about a year for me, but in some areas the color sort of lightens and I fill them up with an eyebrow pomade. I use Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow pomade in the shade dark brown. Using the other end of the spoolie, I take a little bit of pomade and fill in the brows where needed. Then I brush them out again to smudge any sharp lines and repeating the same on the other side. Now that the eyebrows are done, I'm moving on to the mascara. This is a Loreal Double Extension Beauty Tubes mascara. It has two brushes on both ends. One sort of fans out the lashes and other curls the lashes. Pretty versatile. Love it. I ensure that the product spreads from in to out generously to coat the lashes well. I love how natural yet extended and full the eyelashes feel after this. It's really cool. Finally, I remembered that I need to use the face powder. The product I'm using is a Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. I'm using the damp sponge to pick the powder and dabbing the excess product in the back of my hand. I'm lightly pressing the powder onto my skin so that I don't use too much product. I use the rest to press in the powder on the remaining areas of my face. If you notice, the powder absorbed the extra shine on my face, making the base look more natural. Trust me guys, after this, the base is not going anywhere. Before I do my lips, I always apply some lip balm with SPF on it. This protects my lips from pigmentation and also makes it look more moisturized. After this, I tap off some of the excess so that the lipstick doesn't look too glossy. Moving on to the lipstick, I'm using Try Sugar's Lip Crayon in the shade Elle Woods. This is their Matte as Hell collection. This is an orange nude shade and highly pigmented, so a little goes a long way. For blush, I usually use my lipstick itself so that my entire makeup sort of ties together. Just a light dab of the lipstick on the cheeks and I blend it out using a blush brush. It's important to use a blush brush itself. Here I'm using the number 4 brush from Sephora. I'm blending out from my cheeks in an upward motion and also moving it up around my eyes to give it a more natural finish. That's it. Like I said in the beginning, this is not a nude makeup look, but sort of like an everyday look that you can wear to work. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.